Hey everyone, it's Karen, and I thought I would jump on and share my experience with what started to be a 3-day fat fast, but it went so well I decided to go an extra 2 days. So, if you don't know what a fat fast is, it means that majority of your foods is just fat, and so you are completely, there's a few different ones. So there's an egg fast, there's a bacon fast, there's a beef and butter fast, and then there's just a plain fat fast where you can kind of combine any of those things together. So for me, I have done an egg fast in the past, a bacon fast, and this time I decided to do the beef and butter fast. So I will show you pictures of some of the supplements, some of the things that I added to my beef and butter fast, and I think that those really made it different. When I did my egg fast, I really had no significant weight loss results. I did feel good, but I didn't see anything happen on the scale. But I didn't supplement, so it's either that I'm intolerant to eggs and they were causing a little bit of inflammation and halting, which is a stress on the body. So when you're stressed, you're not going to burn fat because it's in like a fight or flight mode. When I did the bacon experiment, I didn't do the supplements either. I did lose a little bit of weight, but I don't think I felt as good. So, what did I do for my beef and butter fast? For me, what I did, and so I will write it down below, but I'm also going to show you pictures. I started out in the morning, so day 1, 2, and 3 were the exact same. I started out with what's called a keto coffee or a fat coffee. Everybody kind of has a different name for it. For myself, I like simple and easy and high quality, so I use what's called keto cream. It is the MCT oil, and it's got a whole bunch of other things. It's got collagen, AC11, and it tastes amazing. But you can also just look up fat coffees. Some people use like coconut oil and butter and cinnamon and vanilla. You can do those types of things. So I started off with my keto cream in my coffee first thing in the morning, and that was at about 8 a.m. every single morning. About an hour and a half later, I drank what's called Keto Max, and it is drinking exogenous ketones. So that really helped to boost my ketone levels. So I had one of those a day. I personally mix it with about 20 ounces of water. So got lots of water. That's one thing I forgot to mention. When I first wake up in the morning, I have a huge, large glass of water. It's not ice cold, but it's not warm. It's like cold from a tap. So I do to make sure that I drink lots of water throughout the day. So then my lunch is 1 cup of ground cooked hamburger with 3 tablespoons of butter. Then in the afternoon, I was drinking an electrolyte, and I do put a lot of Himalayan salt on my beef and butter. I've been doing the ketogenic diet or lifestyle, whatever you want to call it, for around 4 years now. So I really have to make sure that I keep my electrolytes and everything up. So I put a ton of that on it. I put a Himalayan salt on my beef and butter. Then in the afternoon, I did drink an electrolyte drink. I'll show you pictures of all the supplements that I used. And then for supper, and I had supper, so my lunch every day was around 12:30, 1 o'clock. My supper was around anywhere between 5:30 and 6:30 every night, was another 1 cup of cooked ground beef with 3 tablespoons of butter. And then at night, I just drank a lot of water, and I'm not a medical doctor, I'm just telling you what I did and my results and my experience. So I did 1,000 milligrams of potassium in the morning and before I went to bed. And I did 150 milligrams of magnesium in the morning and before bed. And then throughout on my 2 meals, and I did put a little bit of Himalayan salt in my electrolyte drinks. I had probably 2.5 teaspoons in total of Himalayan salt. So after 3 days, I was having significant results. I was feeling good. I mentally was feeling really good, where sometimes with like the egg fast, I didn't feel quite as good. I decided to keep going. So my 4th day, I was going to a friend's house. So I got up, I did the same thing, water, keto cream coffee, my Keto Max. I had 1 cup of ground beef with the butter, 3 tablespoons of butter for lunch. That night I was going to a friend's house. We were doing a barbecue. So I had a small hamburger patty with a half of an avocado that I mashed up and made into guacamole, and quite a few pork rinds. So I put the we use this, and I'll put a picture of the pork rinds I use. I get them from the Atlantic Superstore, and I'm in Nova Scotia, Canada. So then it was still a fat fast, and then it didn't seem weird. Everybody else was eating their foods. I was not just eating hamburger, so I felt a little bit more normal. So that was day 4. Day 5, I had friends over to my house. So in the morning, I actually switched that day up. I did my coffee with my keto cream, my Keto Max. Then for lunch, I actually had some bacon and 1 egg. And I put a little bit of butter and salt and everything on that. So I did that. And then at supper, we actually made keto chicken wings. And so I put on, we ground up the pork rinds. I will put a link down below, or a link in this video so you can see the recipe that we use. They're absolutely amazing. So I did that for my dinner that night, and I did have 1 glass of wine. So in a matter of 5 days, I lost a total exactly 7 pounds, which is huge for me. I mean, that's a lot of weight for me to lose in 5 days. So I know that it's not all fat. I know that I obviously was eating too many carbohydrates a few days before that, and so I must have been retaining some water. So I know that it did get me into a very deep state of ketosis. So I was really flushing out any of those water that I was retaining, getting rid of that, and then I was in a high enough ketosis level that I was burning and using a lot of fats. Most days, my calories were around 1,200 calories. The last 2 days, the one day was about 1,600 calories, and the other day was about 1,500 calories. And I still lost 7 pounds. So we don't want to go too low in calories. I would recommend like 1,100 to maybe 12 or maybe 1,250 in calories, depending on your size and for a female. So anyway, that was my experience. I absolutely loved it. I do not recommend this long term, but I think if you're needing that boost, if you're plateaued, if you just are like craving carbs and you just want to like get out of that and get into a deep state of ketosis, it has an awesome place, but in the long term, you definitely would have deficiencies. So I hope that helped. Please comment below. Let me know what fast you've done, what's worked for you. As always, you can subscribe to my channel. Would love to help you with other tips and tricks, and keto on.